You're not feeling that in your
No.
vibe?
No. This either.
Yeah.
What is the station called?
This is Minimal House.
Okay.
And it was the only one that we found that you guys actually kind of like.
Yeah. What else do we have?
Yeah, pick something else.
We have chill, down tempo, chill
Can we-
pop,
Can we
Hip-
try chill pop?
chill hop. Okay.
Oh, chill hop or chill
yeah,
pop?
and then there's hip hop. Yeah.
Let's try chill hop.
Chill hop. I feel like I'm in a Japanese garden with
Next.
lotus leaves.
Yeah, I
falling.
was like, am I having a massage in a Japanese
That's right.
garden?
Next. Let's see what else we got. So we had chill.
Oh, that was I was just shuffling in chill hop. If there's a different one in chill hop. Yeah,
No.
this is gonna put everybody back. to
Yeah,
sleep.
yeah, no.
All right, here's
This
hip.
is the show before the show.
Yeah, here's hip.
Yeah. Welcome to the show before the show.
Oh,
I'm feeling this more than anything else so far.
Yeah, I'm feeling this because this reminds me of, Joe Biden riding it on into the debate.
I like it.
Oh,
right now.
Joe.
reminds me of Coolio.
Yeah, for sure.
Cancel this. Coming up.
Very menacing.
That's right.
Here we come.
I could see us doing a video where, kind of like the one
I
that
could see it.
before where you guys are walking in slow motion.
I could so see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
I see Will Ferrell doing that right now.
That's right.
Yep.
Mm. Mm. Yo, 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 yo.
Sounds like hip hop Friday the 13th.
Yeah, it does. That's what we need today. We need that.
Joe, answer this. Why does weed smell so bad these days? It used to smell sweet. Now it smells like skunk. I don't get it.
Hasn't it always smelled like skunk?
It's always smelled like skunk. The good stuff has always smelled like skunk. The sweet stuff was always the homegrown dirt stuff.
Okay, well, there you go. Are you smelling it around more than you used to? Do you
No, it
smell
was a question from the chat line.
Oh, I did. Okay.
Although down at the lake, we went down for a day. I'll show some pictures in a second too, Megan and I. I don't know what it is, Joe. You can drive by a restaurant or pastry or barbecue place, and you're convinced they pop the smell out on vents so you can smell it.
Yep.
Well, when I
Why
was driving
would they
by,
do that?
well, when I was driving by, up kind of north on the way, about 33 Mile. I can't remember the name of the place, but I'm driving by on the highway, windows open, and it's like somebody sitting right next to me smoking weed. You could smell. I guarantee they're pushing it out.
Well, where was this at?
Like in the Ozarks.
And it was in front of a dispensary?
Yes, I was on a road. It's a 2-lane road, but it was a pretty fast moving road.
Well, a lot of people drive around, and now it might be their passenger, or it
could be
driver, but a lot of people drive around smoking it. But I don't recommend driving and smoking though. But I mean, I think passengers are smoking in cars, kind of like, people.
So, okay, so if you are a passenger and you're smoking, is it like cigarettes that it's secondhand smoke so the driver could get stoned by it being in the air?
If the windows are rolled up, yeah. I could definitely see that happening.
What happened to you?
Yeah, what happened to you?
Oh no, KJP facing the press for the first time today.
That should be very
2:30
interesting.
Eastern.
Yes.
Be prepared for lies.
Lies.
Oh, we're
and
getting
lies.
lots of them.
Lies and deflection.
Yeah, she stayed quiet for a little bit. but now she's gathered her thoughts on how to spin this. That's what she's doing.
Oh, well, everybody else has been spinning it. She doesn't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
It's already been spun.
I was surprised that that so many people were pretending to be surprised.
Boom, 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 boom. This is the show before the show. Thanks everybody for jumping in. We get started around 8 o'clock. Hope you guys are doing well.
And Paul says, and lots of bullshit.
Yeah.
Fun by them.
No, that's true. Sure enough, we know what that's about. We see it.
A bullshit?
Uh-huh.
Bullshit? A bullshit.
Bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Let's see.
That literally sounds like we're pulling up in a car with the tires real big in the back end, just up and down.
We're getting pulled over. We're rolling down the windows and the smoke billows out.
Boom. Boom, boom.
We need to do a joke intro video.
A joke intro?
Yeah.
What's a
I
joke
mean, it's
intro?
dad joke or
No, like we'll do a spoof on
oh,
actual intros for shows and we'll kind of make fun of the whole process.
yep, that'd be good.
Boom. Boom, boom.
I gotta take this off the chat line. There we go. I just took it off because it's Tuesday.
What's up? What's going on?
I just wrote Happy Wednesday, and it's not Wednesday, it's Tuesday, so I just took it off.
Weird week.
Yeah, very. Donna says lowrider gangsta music this morning.
That's right. That's how I'm feeling.
That's right.
Mother chugga.
Uh-huh. The gangstas are in the studio
Nice.
today.
Oh,
Switching it up a bit here.
There you go.
That wasn't me.
That's the gangstas are about ready to pull into the parking lot. Kimberly says sounds like suspense music, like The Matrix. Yeah, Dr. Spider caught me. Oh my gosh, happy Wednesday. It is Tuesday. I'm not wishing my life away. Paul says, love how the family is blaming everything, but the real reason why Biden didn't perform the debate.
that's what they're doing.
Yep.
They
Of
suck.
course they are.
They suck.
They do suck. Really, the Biden family sucks. You suck, Biden family.
But it's not really a big family. It's Jill.
Yes.
It's the crack addict,
Yep. It's a crack addict.
STD infected,
Mm-hmm.
porn, nasty,
Stealing his brother's
just
wife.
nasty ass,
Yeah.
lying piece of shit Hunter Biden.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's the only people that are doing it. And Jill is the worst. If we ever doubted 1 minute that Jill isn't the worst wife on the planet,
Maybe it's her fault.
it is her fault.
The Bible tells us about a bad woman.
You better. There is nothing worse than a bad woman. I'll tell you that right
Joe,
now.
you may have missed those scriptures, buddy, but I'm telling you.
Yeah, if you're a guy that gets hooked up with a bad woman, you are effed up. You better pick a good woman or you're doomed.
Or don't be a guy, because if you're bad as a man, then the men aren't out of the hair. I know a lot of bad men.
Yeah.
Ton.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're a bad man that makes a woman or can help make a woman that way, then shame on you.
Yeah, shame on you guys. Shame on you.
If you're a bad man, you came from a woman.
Okay.
Oh.
No, I know tons of horrible men.
I do too.
And men that'll drive a woman absolutely insane. You don't want to drive a woman insane.
You don't. So if that's a tip for today on the show before the show is if you're a bad man, don't make a woman into a bad woman because then you're in a big world.
Yeah, you are. See, that's what I'm saying. It's like,
yeah.
No. I went through all that stuff, counseling. I learned all that stuff. I learned it after the fact.
And see, I was really blessed. I only had good
Ashley's
men
an
in my
addict
life.
too.
I only had good men. I had a wonderful dad.
Well, yeah, but
wonderful
you and Dave
uncles.
are amazing people.
Well, it's because we both had good parents, like his mom and dad. His dad just died and his mom and dad had been together the whole time. My dad was great. He died young, but was great. I had good uncles, 2 great grandpas. I've only had good men in my life. Now, I've had some bad men friends, but.
Yeah. You know what is interesting? It's like the best woman I met is Megan. And you look at her parents.
She's got great parents, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember you said you met them and they were great.
Yeah.
Parenting is such a big deal, people. Gotta be a good parent. And you know what? Here's the thing that a lot of people forgot.
And then when Lizzie finishes this, you can go ahead and start. I saw
Yeah.
the show. Sorry, guys.
No, it's just when the person, a lot of grandparents back in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s thought you raised your kids. I raised my kids. Now you raise yours, and they left. Grandparents still have to be involved. They have to.
Megan
Helpful.
says, I know a lot of jerk bags with good parents. Lizzie, you guys are just plain good.
I don't know about that, but thank you, Megan. I love you too. And there is true. Sometimes they have good parents and the people turn out to be dirtbags, but maybe that's because those good parents made those kids very entitled. I don't know.
There we go. Parents cannot be friends with their children.
That's
from
true, they
Sherry.
cannot.
I've talked about that before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Joel, let's go ahead and kickstart this bad boy. Hey guys, welcome into the show. Cancel this, canceltheshow.com. Vic Faust, Lizzie Sparks, Pro Joe in the house. It is Tuesday. It is July 2nd. Glad you're with us today. You know what we do Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. We're here, Central Time. News headlines, politics, water cooler talk, anything that may affect your life, and the truth, the real truth, and nothing but the truth. That's what we give you, or at least we try to. And of course, don't forget about our podcast platform for the people, the people's platform. You can catch us on Facebook, Rumble, X, and YouTube. And of course, we go straight to audio platforms as soon as the show ends as well. We love you guys. We appreciate you jumping in with us as you do every day. Like, subscribe, share the show. We appreciate it. We're still working on the stars deal. We've had some people tell us they try to send some stars to us via Facebook. We're trying to figure that one out. Also, we have a donation page set up too. If you want to donate to us, we're grateful for that as well. I'll talk here. You know what? We'll go ahead and show it right now before we get to the stuff for the show. Megan, we're talking about Megan. We were at, she just said, thank you, Vic. Yes, I was raised by the best man and uncles and grandfather, respectful, faithful, loyal.
I
man.
love that. I
They
love
can
that,
help.
Megan.
But she's also, she's a daredevil.
Good.
And she scared the shit out of me on
Did
Sunday.
she really?
Yeah, I couldn't tell her. I'm telling her right now.
Okay, tell her. So you were scared?
Yeah, can you show the jet ski picture first? Okay. So we were at her friends. We went down the other day. So this
That
was
is
Sunday.
a great picture of you guys.
Yeah, she packs a ton of energy into that little body.
Yeah.
And so those are super, super fast jet skis, our friend's jet skis. So she hit it at like 65.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
you
on the
guys
water.
were flying. 65
Nobody-
is flying.
Nobody was out in the water.
Wow, but how fun. Oh my, did that take like the air out of your
Yeah.
lungs?
Yeah.
Which-
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. Glenn says nice flex. You know what that flex is? That flex is me gripping tight because she was getting ready to take off really
Mhm.
fast. I don't know if anybody used jet skis, but it took, I'll get used to it. But the water was glass
That's awesome.
and she flipped me once.
Oh, really? Did you go flying up in the air?
That's why I'm gripping like, and that was not a flex. That's just me, buddy.
That's just the way his arms look when he's gripping for
Yeah.
fear.
So anyway, yeah. And then just to give her credit, I just wanted to show you that. Look, this girl say, "Oh, come on, do a kiss." But it's not for me. But look how good she looks.
Yeah,
in this
she's
picture.
amazing. She really
In
is. She's gorgeous.
this next picture, because we had one more. I think if it went through, but
Aw,
I
that's
know.
so cute.
isn't that a great pic?
Yeah, it is. That's a framer. You got both of those are framers.
Yeah. So anyway, good time on a lake, and that's what I'm saying. That's raised by good men.
Yeah.
That's what made me think
There you
about
go.
that because
Mhm.
yes, her family is amazing. So yeah, I was hanging on for dear life.
I bet you were.
Um,
And you know what? Even if you go 35, say on a jet ski, that's pretty fast. It's not like 35 in a car. So if you were going 65,
no, it was.
that translates to almost 100 in a car.
And it's different when you're in control than when you're the one holding on for dear
Absolutely. Absolutely.
life.
Yes.
65 is top end. It's full throttle.
Well, I mean,
Correct.
that's like fast.
Well,
I
there's
mean,
on the
anybody's ever done
skis that
it.
we're using. There's a fast key and a slow key,
Okay.
and we had the slow key in first. Then I was like, okay, we'll graduate up to the fast key. And
Yeah.
I was like, hello, here we go.
Hello.
So,
That's so fun.
yeah, it's it's that we can people get out on the lake and do that stuff. It was good to have friends that allowed us to do that. So it was fantastic.
That's
okay.
fun.
Yeah, no, she is an animal. She's that term speed demon, even though I don't like the term demon, but yeah, she wants to go 300 miles an hour.
I could see her doing that for
And,
sure.
Yeah. So yeah, the death grip on the strap that can come flying off. If that strap ever came flying off, I would be in a world of hurt. I can tell you that much now.
You would have been limping in here.
It
this
feels
morning.
weird with this background music talking about this subject.
Yeah.
What the hell? This is like, what the
I know it should have been the music.
Turn
that
the
was in
music
show
off.
before the show.
I look over, Joe's yawning.
Uh-huh.
Snowmobiling on the lake this winter, Vic. Okay, that could be
That'd
cool.
be fun.
I did go snowmobiling when I was in Michigan, and it was freaking amazing. Absolutely loved
That's
it.
so fun.
Okay, so we have some fun there, guys. We got to show another picture right out of the gate. Joe Biden. We already know that Joe Biden is trying to be Donald Trump now, right?
Yeah. of
He's
course.
trying. He's doing everything he can.
Yeah.
He's gaslighting him. He's trying to tell him that he's doing things that Biden is doing. Did you see this picture from last night?
I know. What the
This
hell
is not
that?
doctored. I promise you. He looked orange.
Yeah.
The new orange man is Joe Biden.
Right. What is up with that?
He looks like an orange, like a peach.
He does. He does. I saw him
Joe, you did
yesterday,
not
too.
doctor that video, right?
No, this is the first time I've seen it. Now, I did see somebody post this on social media, so this is definitely
It was all over last night because he had an orange hue, an orange tint to his
Yeah.
face last night.
I saw some things and it didn't look that orange, but it definitely looked like there was some sort of like suntan cream that he had put on his face.
Has
for
anybody
sure.
ever had somebody that they tried to like act like you or dress like you
Yes.
or look like you? I know this has happened with women because I've had women tell me this,
Mhm.
like they become that fatal attraction.
Yeah. And
type
it's
of
usually somebody
person.
that doesn't like you, but is jealous of you is who does it.
Yeah.
Same thing as Joe Biden and Donald Trump. He doesn't like Donald Trump, but he wants to be like Donald Trump.
He freaking looked orange talking last night. He spoke really publicly.
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of spoke on Friday, kind of, but we showed you all that debacle yesterday. Last night, he actually spoke and he looked like freaking, he looks like Jeff Dunham, Grandpa Dummy.
Mhm.
He does.
He does. He so does. He does.
Oh my God. Could you imagine if he did a puppet
a Biden
ventriloquist
Uh-huh.
of
I love-
Biden?
Sally said,
Man, that would be
looks like
awesome.
Jeff Dunham's grandpa dummies.
But
That's
look at
definitely
that.
what it looks
Yeah, I don't think that's cream because you can see around the eyes where it, kind of like when Trump used to get really tan
Uh-huh.
around the eyes, didn't tan.
Yeah, maybe he went in there and got one of those spray tans.
Yeah, because he looked
Maybe.
dead.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh my God. And then he actually started saying that Donald Trump isn't fit for office yesterday.
Oh.
You can't make this shit up. You really can't.
You can't.
Donald Trump is unfit for office.
Oh.
Hello? Scott says Walter. That's his name.
Uh-huh. Walter.
Walter.
That's right. That is definitely Walter.
Man,
That's-
you just never know where we're going to go. By the way, I think ventriloquists are some of the most incredibly talented people
That's
ever.
fun.
What goes on in a ventriloquist's brain, I have no idea. I'd like to take a dive into that maybe once, just once, to see what the hell that's like.
Yeah.
Because there's got to be like 3 or 4 different brains
Gotta be.
to do that. And that Walter character is awesome. Hell,
Very.
all those are. Terry says, by the way, I had a college roommate. She stole my boyfriend and my friends, told me she was doing everything to be me. Then I developed some pics. And in
There.
most of the pics, she dressed like me. There's Walter. That
There's
looks like Joe
Walter.
Biden. That looks like Joe Biden.
That does look like.
Damn, that looks like
Oh my
him.
gosh, that so looks like Joe Biden.
If you change the color of the eyebrows and the hair,
Uh-huh.
that's Joe Biden.
That's totally Joe Biden.
Everybody says because he looked like a corpse at the debate, so
Yeah.
he looked orange last night. But literally, that's the defense now. He's not. They say he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, they're saying it.
I think the White House probably did that on purpose just to make him look like a fool because they're trying to get him out of there now.
Yeah, you know.
I
there's-
kill you.
So,
That's
so
right.
they
That's
had
exactly
the makeup
what it is.
artist.
You.
They set the makeup artist to do that.
Mhm.
You think that was done on purpose?
You know, it wouldn't surprise me the way that this administration.
All we need is
Oh my
Joe.
gosh.
You know, you'll never have a boring time sitting in a room with Joe because you'll say something like, "Man, the Coke is a little warm today." And Joe, like,
I have
I'm telling you, I saw a guy in here
Yep.
earlier. I'm telling you, they're trying to poison us.
I have a conspiracy for everything.
It does. Joe's our producer so does. It's like he thinks everyone is out to get us.
Man, it's a little cloudy today. I'm telling you, God's got something planned for us today.
Hey,
That's right.
when all the gremlins happen all at once,
Yeah,
you've seen the things that I've seen.
that's right. And you know what? The funny thing of it is, Joe, is oftentimes the most outlandish things you say actually really end up to be true. That's what's so funny about it all.
Uh,
Oh.
They're going to show him golfing soon. Mark my words. Megan, that's a great point.
Mhm.
Joe, speculator, not a conspiracy. You got it.
That's
Hey, by the
right.
way, this is canceltheshow.com. We appreciate you guys joining us today, just having some fun as we get the show started with some of the things that are going on. Oh, yeah. We got a Jill Biden video. I'm convinced she is the because she's the only
I
one with a
agree.
brain.
That's right.
Hunter doesn't have a brain,
No,
and Joe doesn't have a brain.
no.
And then there's Jill. Who else? There's no other Bidens, right? That's
Yeah.
it.
I think that's
So
it.
when people talk about the Biden family, who the hell are they talking about? They're talking about Jill.
Yeah, you're right.
Hunter's so cracked out of his effing mind. That dude doesn't know where he's coming, where he's going. And I guarantee he's not clean. I guarantee it.
No, you know he's not clean. And Jill Biden, we say this all the time, but it's true. From way back, she wanted to be, the wife of somebody in the political realm. And now she's probably sitting in the White House. Her dreams come true, but she's like, damn it.
Well, she married him for money.
She did.
She married
did.
him for prestige, and she got it. And
She
then she overcame all of that. And then she became eventually the matriarch.
Yes, she is. the
And
matriarch.
she is. And she's starting to panic. I agree. I was just saying it, Paul. She doesn't like the idea of losing that power.
No, she
you know
doesn't.
why? Because then she's stuck with that dude.
That's right.
Hey, here's your penance. You take
Mhm.
care of him for the rest of his breathing.
That's right. And so she's literally, we've showed videos
Yeah,
here that she just props him up every day. She props him up and kind of rolls her eyes, but she so much wants to continue to be the president.
He does have some brothers, and that's what Robert was talking about. Yeah, they're in the business, and some of those checks, a check from Ukraine, check from China,
Yes,
had the brother's name on it. So
absolutely.
technically they're in it, but are they really speaking? But they stay quiet. They're not really speaking about, well, Joe Biden, it's not his fault, as we talked about yesterday. It was his bad advisors.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all in on it. It's the Biden crime syndicate. That's
Yeah.
what we refer to it as, like father, like son.
That's right. And his brothers are in on it too. They are, but Vic, to your point, they are being very quiet right now. They're not saying, the brothers anyway are
course
not
not.
saying anything.
There's nothing they can say.
No.
But the sheer fact that Biden has come out now, and they're on the full offensive. And by the way, today at 2:30 Eastern time, KJP speaks for the first time. What the hell is she going to say? I want bets on that. What the hell could she say?
Yeah.
What could she possibly come out and say?
Yeah. You guys on the chat line, chat amongst yourselves and let us see, what do you think she's going to say today? My guess, Vic, is that she, like, as she rolls her eyes with her curly mop hair, and she's actually very, she's kind of pretty in her weird moppy head
Are
way.
you crazy?
Well, she's not ugly.
Well, I'm sorry. I apologize. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. I get it.
Right.
I find nothing attractive about that woman.
Because all she does is lie, lie, lie. She's going to come out today. This is my prediction. She's going to come out today and do what she always does: gaslight, 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 and talk. If she talks about Trump, talk about how many lies he had and that Joe Biden is such a good man and he did a great job. He just had a little cold that day. And then she'll deflect, deflect, deflect. That's what I think she will do. And Chris says she has the half a brain between 4 people in that family. Well, never mind. You were talking about Joe Biden. So, but yeah, I can't wait to see what KJB says, because I think it's just going to be lies, lies, lies. But I can't wait to hear how she's going to spin it.
Man, I don't know. There's Peter Ducey, Fox News. Is the president alive? Did you see his orange face last night?
Mhm.
KJP, is it true that you and your makeup stylist doused him with orange makeup last night to look like Donald Trump?
Oh my gosh, that's great. That's great.
She will refer to the campaign. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, she'll do that too.
Well, you got to talk to the campaign people.
Mhm.
No, you're the press secretary. Get back out here, do the job that you need to do.
Mhm. And Stephanie says she will also say, "Let's be clear," like 40 times.
You know what? And I do it too. We all have crutch words
We do.
and phrases.
Yeah, I know I do.
I noticed it in television, and you get coaching where
Mhm.
you get coached. Hey, listen, you need to stop this, or you stop that. And sometimes you don't even realize it.
No,
That
because you
you
don't
say-
hear yourself till
No,
you listen
It's
back
a
and you're like,
transition.
I say that all the time. Like yesterday, I said nefarious 47 times.
When I'm trying to spit, or when I'm trying to hold time, I'll say, and I'll call myself out when I do it. She looks like Raggedy Ann. That's
And maybe that's why I like her, because I like Raggedy Ann and Andy. So maybe that's why I don't like her. I don't like her, but I don't think she looks as bad as some people says she does. She just lies so much you can't take her serious.
No, I agree. I totally agree. I wanted to show Jill Biden too, because we were talking about Jill Biden.
Good old Jill.
She's talking more now because Joe can't. She's trying to take the lead because Brock said, Jill, whenever you can, you need to go talk because Joe can't. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Here, and she's not good. She's just not good in front of a mic. Whoever did this video deserves an Emmy. It's not long, but it's funny, and we can play it a couple times, because this was her after the debate on Friday trying to defend Joe Biden.
Mhm. That's
Joe,
great. Play it one more time, Joe. Play it again. That's so her. That's so her. Defending Joe Biden that was great. I love it.
I love it. I love it too.
I wish I had a button where I could play that at any point in the show, kind of like a drop, but it
Yes.
would just pop up over everything.
Uh-huh. But you know, that is a perfect depiction of her. Is she's doing anything and everything to deflect what her husband's doing. And he's standing back there like, excuse me, I'm going to say this, but like a buffoon. He's standing there like a buffoon that isn't even there at all. And she's just giving it this with her finger and saying how great he is, while then she's congratulating him for answering all the questions correctly. Good job.
You're a good boy.
Good job. Good job. Good
Pat
job.
You're a good boy.
Mm.
Very good boy. Now
Yes.
go to your corner and we'll tell you when you can come out. Okay.
right.
You're a good boy. I'm sorry. That's not fair to dogs.
No, you just insulted the dogs.
I know.
For sure.
I was talking a couple of weeks ago. Somebody says they're dumber than dirt. And I was like, don't you dare disrespect dirt.
That's right. Dirt is good.
Dirt has use.
That's right.
I agree with you on the other aspect of that.
Yeah.
The meme with the housewife and the cat has come full circle. I don't know what meme that is.
Oh, yeah. Joe, maybe you can find
If he knows what it is, that would be
with the
freaking-
cat. There's always this cat that this cat is pointing to people. You know what I'm talking about, Joe?
I know that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that meme.
You know that meme?
Yes,
No matter
yes,
what,
yes.
the cat is pointing at people and laughing.
I first
That
saw
is the ultimate. Yeah.
You mean where the cat has a response?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I first saw that with like the Beverly Hills Housewives.
Okay.
It
yeah.
was used a ton.
Yeah.
I mean, a ton with them.
Yeah.
And I thought it was pretty damn funny.
Yeah. for
Okay,
sure.
we can do that as well.
Mhm.
So Jill Biden losing her mind all over the place. Also, We, I guess we'll go. Here's what we'll do. Let's start with the CNN. CNN ripped the crap out of Joe Biden last night and the Biden family. And I'm like, okay, they must have enjoyed those ratings and realized, hey, Soros, we appreciate the money you're giving us, but damn, we're going to die. We need more, or we've actually got to start telling the truth. Listen to the CNN commentator last night, just destroy Joe Biden, destroy the Biden family. And they're putting this on air. My God, we must be in the end times with all the craziness that's happening all over the place because, and just wait. And after this, Jake Tapper's next. On deck, Jake Tapper. Just wait. Jake Tapper. That's right. The debate moderator, the man who has ripped Donald Trump in a horrible way for years, went off on him last night too. But first, we warm you up. Here's your appetizer with CNN senior political commentator tearing in to Joe Biden.
Cannonballing into an empty swimming pool on Thursday night, came out tonight and spoke for 4 minutes off of the teleprompter. He's good for 4 minutes today, as long as somebody else wrote it. After having this completely tone-deaf sort of announcement coming out of this meeting that you wrote about with his family this weekend, where his son, the notorious influence peddler and crack addict, Hunter Biden, says, you got to keep going. Also, they were hanging out with Annie Leibovich, the photographer, which I wasn't even aware she was taking mugshots now. This entire thing since Thursday has been one tone-deaf political disaster after another. Tonight, he comes out and attacks the Supreme Court and says, oh, the president can now do whatever he wants. The same guy, by the way, whose centerpiece of his speeches is, the Supreme Court tried to stop me. They blocked me, but they'll never stop me on student loans. I don't know what they are doing because they don't know what they're doing, and no one in America knows what they're doing, and that's why Donald Trump's beating his brains in right now.
Okay, that's funny, but it's scary and sad all
Yes.
at the same time. Funny, scary, sad. That's what 2024 is right now. It's funny, it's scary, and it's sad. That's how I feel about Joe Biden. That's how I feel about his family. That's how I feel about the Democratic Party. More so funny with Joe because we've never seen an idiot this bad in a public stage. We have never. This country has never seen anybody this incoherent, this dumb, this lost, this just mumble and stumble. Never, ever, ever. I don't know if we've ever seen a political leader from any country like this, ever. Think about this. It's historic, not only from an American standpoint, but from an international standpoint. And lucky us, we got
Lucky
it
us. We're
because,
so blessed.
because we sat back and we allowed it to happen. CNN has been notified that its audience has been in the dark about Biden, and they are scared, coming from Megan.
Yeah, that is so true. There's so many people that have not seen this on CNN. And I do think some of the actual fear or the outrage or can't believe people really didn't see Joe Biden like that. They either don't watch the news or that's all they watch is MSNBC. And now they're like, oh my gosh, Joe Biden really looks like this. It's sad.
I mean, it really is. So we see that coming from last night. All right. What I also think is interesting is we show you that. But this, I could not even, I watched, I could not even believe this. Jake effing Tapper, who none of us with any sort of a brain when it comes to politics or any experience watching debates wanted Jake Tapper.
No.
And then he came out and he was actually, he did pretty damn well.
Yeah, he did.
He has ripped Donald Trump over and over and over and over and over again. I told a friend of mine about this and they're like, well, he's in on the fix. They know that Trump's not going to be in. So now they want to look like they're fair. That sounds like a Joe take, doesn't it, Joe?
Yeah.
The only reason
yeah.
Tapper's being cool now is because he knows he knows who wins the war, not
Correct.
the battle. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm giving him credit for now.
Yeah. And everyone saw it. Everybody. I mean, it was, simulcast on so many things and their ratings have been so low that if they had acted like their own eyes didn't see this while it was simulcast everywhere, they would have lost all of the little bit of credibility they had left. And so for the ratings, he had no choice but to act like that. But what I was surprised was after the fact was he was ripping him. So I don't know if that's all good news or predictable because we're being played. I'm not really sure.
Well, you guys have to see this because I could not believe how good this was. and spot on and serious and well thought out, well written, well spoken, well produced by CNN. And it's not just because it's the message, but there's some heartfelt thought out information, and it's true. Here's CNN's liberal Jake Tapper talking about Joe Biden.
A discernible pattern of Democratic officials seemingly trying to convince you, the public, to not believe what you saw and what you heard with your eyes and with your ears on Thursday night. Democratic officials have tried to spin this in many ways. They said President Biden just had a cold. They said it was just one off night, akin to when President Obama in 2012 was rusty and seemed a little huffy. But behind the scenes, make no mistake, most Democratic officials witnessed the same shocking spectacle that you did. The difficulty that the presumptive Democratic nominee, the current president of the United States, had just articulating his basic thoughts during the 90 minutes of the debate. With all due respect, it is not honest to say that this is just one night. There have been moments like this that people have seen in front of the cameras and other moments but with cameras not there. Just 2 weeks ago, let me just show this clip. There was another moment like this, not just a senior losing a train of thought, but something else going on. Here he is. It was in an event about immigration. He tries to introduce DHS Secretary Mayorkas, and there's some sort of glitch. I don't know what it is. Let's roll that tape.
Thanks to all the members of Congress and Homeland Security Secretary. I'm not sure I'm going to introduce you all the way. But all kidding aside, Secretary Mayorkas.
I don't know what that was.
That doesn't trouble me at all, Jake.
That doesn't trouble me at all, Jake. You know what troubles me is Donald Trump. That's what troubles me. Wow, wow, wow. I mean, this is, Brenda just said it. It is shocking.
Yes.
It's almost like, wait a second, like you want something, and you're asking somebody for something, maybe your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your wife, your spouse, your husband, and then they give it to you.
And you're shocked.
And you're like, wait a second. You wanted it. You want this. And then all of a sudden you get it and you're like, well, okay.
Whoa.
Joe, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, wait a second. What's going on here? Am I going to pay for this?
What it is, it's like, let's make a deal. Is the truth behind door number 1? Is the truth behind door number 2? And you know, CNN is door number 3, and you know, the truth isn't going to be there. And the door opens and, oh my God, they told us the truth. What? Jake Tapper actually came out of door number 3 and they're telling you the truth? And that dumbass that was with him, that was like, that doesn't trouble me at all. That doesn't trouble me at all. And you
That's
know,
pride.
That is pride. That is only pride, because there's nothing you can say about Joe Biden right now, except for the fact that you're a Democrat. Once a Democrat, you're always a Democrat, or pride, or whatever it is. That is ridiculous. There is no way you can vote for that guy. And I am shocked that CNN is coming out with the truth, because MSNBC is still trying to hold to the fact everything's okay.
No, of course they can't. They can't. They've been so much bashing Trump. They won't stop.
No,
Chris says the Democrats are scrambling to do anything to get him out because they know that they effed up backing Biden for this long and realizing it's too late to change directions. That would mean that it's not planned. So you don't think something is planned.
Right. But I agree with Brenda, who she's saying on the chat line, what do the Democrats have up their sleeve? Something. The fact that Jake Tapper is actually shocking us and telling really bold truth here is one of two things. They have something up their sleeves, or he's like, okay, I have to be creditable here. CNN has to look different than MSNBC. So we're going to have to start telling the truth.
CNN knows the Democrats can't win with Biden, so they are doing their own damage control. Yeah. It could be.
Yeah, sure could be.
There's just so much of this crap that's going on that blows my freaking mind. Jake Tapper, when you break that down, he is telling the American people, do not vote for Joe Biden if he's the candidate. But essentially, he's saying Joe Biden should not be the candidate. That is exactly what he's saying. And for me, when we show you that, he's getting instructions. They're saying Joe's in. There is no way in hell CNN, in my humble opinion, with Jake Tapper, is going to run him destroying Joe Biden unless there's a plan in place and unless he had permission to do so. Is that far-fetched to think that? I don't think so.
No, I don't think it's far-fetched at all. And the fact that we're even having to talk about any of this, it's just so bizarre to me that we sat there and watched the debate of the president of the United States and all of these other clips we watch and all of the other news, and the man doesn't know what he's doing, doesn't even understand what he's saying himself. And that's our president. That still blows my mind. It blows my mind.
This is cancelthisshow.com, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central or so. Please like, subscribe, share the show, send it out, let people know what we're up to. We're grateful for any of the support that you give us. We have a donate button as well to help us pay for our free speech podcast. Plus, you can check out our advertisers as well. Megan says, I'm not buying the fact that Joe is strong-arming the entire Democratic Party by not stepping down. There's no way in hell he is. I know some people are trying to say that. I agree, Megan. I've never believed it. I thought most people believed that he wasn't doing that. And I agree. He's peanut brittle.
He is peanut brittle, but it's his handlers that are not wanting him to step down. And you said earlier, Vic, Jill, maybe it's Jill that is saying that he's saying that.
Like, I've got secrets. I know things.
Yes, I agree. Jill will be the one leading, kicking and screaming. So I always thought maybe somebody had something on her. Now I think she has something on other people, and she's going to use it because she wants that White House. I agree with Megan. Joe is peanut brittle. He doesn't even know what he's doing. Yeah, and Jay's saying thinks it's true too. Yeah.
There's a lot of, I don't know, there's a lot of questions when you think about what it could be, who's doing it. I'm just floored by Jake Tapper.
Mm-hmm.
CNN, people think about this. Really, I mean, so many things get thrown at us. If you take a second, take a deep breath in, a CNN political commentator allowed to destroy Joe Biden. Then Jake Tapper, the debate moderator, talks about how he literally is a man who can't function, slobbering, stuttering, mumbling idiot. That's what Jake Tapper just called him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he ripped the Democratic Party and the family of the Bidens for trying to tell us that he can do a job that he just can't do. Oh, Les says that Jill all of a sudden is on the cover of Vogue.
Of course she is. Of course she is. She is. I mean, Vic, don't you know this? Her fashion style is so wonderful. We saw what she had yesterday, a Black Lives Matters vote shirt yesterday. I mean, the girl's got class. So if you haven't noticed, of course she deserves to be on Vogue.
Trish says they're just holding on until their conference.
I agree. Yeah.
There's no way in hell Joe Biden's running for president.
Mm-hmm.
We are all on the record of saying there's no way.
They just don't know who's going to run.
I know they're saying it, that he is, but there's no freaking way he is running for president.
Who's the president who suffered some sort of episode or something, or maybe had some sort of disease, who his wife basically ran America while he was basically a vegetable in a wheelchair, and like he would take meetings with people and everything, and she would be sitting right next to him while he propped up in his wheelchair.
One of our historians will let us know.
Somebody on the chat line tell us, because what you're saying, Joe, is right.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that, but I can't remember who that was.
Yeah.
So someone on the chat line let us know. What was
FDR?
Was it FDR? Well, he was in a wheelchair, correct?
Yeah.
And so, and I do believe that if FDR was alive today and with social media,
I think it might have been Woodrow Wilson.
He would not have been elected. Yeah. A lot of people are saying FDR.
Right.
I know his wife helped out a lot, but I think there was something with Woodrow Wilson too.
Yeah.
We got a lot of people jumping in, and we appreciate it.
Happening all over again.
By the way, we're on X, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube and Rumble. You can watch us there. You can jump in on the chat line. We appreciate that as well. Okay, Joe Biden did talk last night because of what we'll get into when it comes to the Supreme Court, their decision. And my God, I'm already tired of it. Yeah, it's not a conservative court. It's a freaking right-wing conspiracy. They're all trying to do everything they can to hurt Democrats. I mean, like, God, stop it. Joe Biden spoke last night. And was he bad? Okay, the first one, he did it again, people. Lizzie, he did it again, didn't he?
Yeah, he did do it again. Yeah, absolutely.
He didn't shit his pants, at least, no, not that again.
No, I don't think he pooped his pants last
He read words in a prompter
that
he shouldn't.
And the first time I heard it, I didn't catch it. because he said it just like it was part of it. And then when I went back, I'm like, wait a minute, because I listened to the
Oh my
speech
God.
3 times. It's only like 4 minutes.
Biden supporters, I'm sorry. You have lost your mind if you're still going to try to defend this guy.
Ugh.
You're out. You're lost. We can't take you serious on anything. Here he goes.
I concur with Justice Sotomayor's dissent today. Here's what she said. She said, in every use of official power, the president is now a king above the law. With fear for our democracy, I dissent. End of quote. I concur with Justice Sotomayor's dissent today. Here's what she said. She
This
said,
guy's
in every
such an
use of official
effing
power,
idiot.
Oh my
the
God.
president is now a king above the law. With fear for our democracy, I dissent. End of quote.
I need to hear one more time.
Yeah.
One more time,
Yeah.
please. End of quote. He did it again.
Yeah, you did.
With fear for our democracy, I dissent. End of quote. I can.
Oh my gosh. That is, when he said it the first time, like I said, I didn't catch it. And then I was like, oh, he did it again. He did it again. But you know what I thought was interesting about this speech? It was in a controlled environment and he can last for 4 minutes. He still made blunders. I heard a liberal commentator said, oh, that was so good. He did a great job. Okay, you guys, it was like 4 minutes and 38 seconds or something. And he still stumbled and mumbled and didn't sound real great.
Maybe for our conspiracy theorists out there who think that it's Biden 2.0 or somebody with the elastic mask, maybe the mask affects his speech.
Maybe it does.
Have you ever had a mask on at Halloween? Or it does. It affects. It can affect the way you sound and speak.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
Joe, do you like that conspiracy?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
there
that's
you
a
go.
good conspiracy.
Just checking in.
I lately been thinking they're only playing the same guy. You know, there for a while I thought there was 2 different guys because they look distinctly different with their ears and their forehead and all
Oh, you
that.
thought it was like a mascot. We have 8 people that can play the mascot.
I guess so.
Like Fred Bird. can
That's
be 8
exactly
different
right.
people.
A Fred Bird mascot. Now I don't think they're playing the mascot. I think it's really just Sleepy Joe. And Glenn saying, you guys, come on. He still has a cold. Have some
Oh,
empathy.
yeah,
Vic.
of course.
Have some empathy on this poor man.
That's
that
what's
has
turning
cold.
his face all red.
That's right. He has a cold.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
that's why his face is turning
Mhm.
orange. He probably took Benadryl and then it made his face orange.
Or took something else that made his face color.
Right. That's what it was. Okay. That mystery solved now.
Now you know why they built an exact replica across the street so they could fit in a teleprompter. And we've talked about that before.
For sure. For sure.
Les says you guys should show him walking away in the speech.
We've got that clip, Joe.
Yeah,
if you want
like
to
a
play that.
walking kid. Anytime he moves,
Yeah.
he's a cadaver.
Yeah.
He refused to answer questions at the end, and here he goes. We'll show it a couple times for you.
There goes Walter. He definitely looks like Walter.
What makes you so confident you should be the president?
Buddy right there
Yeah.
waved him to go.
Yeah. I want to see it again.
Now watch.
Joe.
What makes you so confident you should be the president?
Oh boy.
Oh my goodness.
What makes you so confident you
Stephanie said he's drinking the orange Kool-Aid. That's what it is.
Okay. So Joe Biden last night, and this was in the middle of him talking about Trump. Oh, it's unfair, ripping the Supreme Court, saying that the Supreme Court is so powerful. How can they do this when he's bypassed the Supreme? He's tried to bypass the Supreme Court when it came to giving, I'll call them gifts to people to take care of their student loan debt.
Yeah.
Supreme Court said no. He was trying to bypass the Supreme Court. Don't want to hear the crap, Joe. Then he tells Trump that he's not fit for office.
Yes. Yes.
You're not fit for office.
You know, I agree with Bindi here. It literally is all theater. And like Trisha's saying, they will be showing this real Biden because he's on a downward spiral and they want to get rid of him. We all know we're being played and it's a show when they were trying to hide the fact he was on a downward spiral, they used the mascot, as you call it, Vic. And now they want him gone because there's nothing they can do about it. They know he absolutely can't win against Trump. So you're going to see Or that's my speculation, is you're going to see at the nth hour they put in someone else.
Jay says Biden should be ecstatic over the court's ruling. Now they can't try and sue him for murder over
That's
the border.
right.
It's true. This is why it's all a ploy.
It is.
Because they know they're like, oh, we can use this to our advantage, but let's not let them know what's going on. We're not going to show our cards. We're going to act like it's bad and accuse them of what we're actually doing.
That's right.
Which, as we've talked about before, comes right out of the Al-Qaeda playbook. Only dictators walk away from reporters and don't have to answer questions. Let me repeat that from Glenn. Only dictators walk away from reporters and don't answer questions. You know who doesn't do that? Donald Trump.
That's right.
He stands right there and he takes the questions, as he has. And he goes on CNN and does interviews, and MSNBC and does interviews. Those are situations I find very, very, very interesting.
We are in a dictatorship. The dictator may not exactly be Joe Biden, but his handlers are making him do these things. And we have become a dictatorship. And you just said it, Vic, that they're accusing Donald Trump again. That's the big thing that they're doing, is he's a dictator. Be careful, and you're going to be sorry when he comes back, because they know they are really the ones handling a dictatorship right now. And Trish says they can't let Joe go out as a felon. They can't. So, I mean, when yesterday, when the ruling came out while we were on the show, I wasn't for sure. Was it good? Was it bad?
I couldn't figure it out.
I couldn't figure out. And then after researching it, it's a very good ruling for anyone that's ever been a president, including Joe Biden.
Exactly.
Including him. But their narrative right now is, oh my gosh, this is terrible, because they have nothing else. I mean, both sides should be rejoicing in the fact that as long as the president is acting in an official capacity, they have immunity. It's when you do it outside of it. So I'm not sure why this would be a bad thing and why the Democrats are spinning it, other than they've got nothing else.
Paul says speculation of an Obama Whitmer ticket checks all the boxes. It certainly does.
Yeah, that's right.
Could they really get that by Kamala? Could they really get that by Kamala?
I think they could get it by Kamala. I think you'd have the far left crazies be upset because she's black.
Not with an Obama though.
No, that's right. That's why they have to use Obama. They have to use Michelle Obama, and then you can get rid of Cammie. You can.
In a heartbeat.
Because she will cow down to an Obama. So I think that's good. I really do. If I had to bet, it's Obama coming out, because of course, then it becomes term 4 for Obama.
We all know Joe Biden is not running for president. There's no way.
Well, and
no way.
Like
no freaking way.
Robert, you're right. Can they get that by Jill? No, they cannot get this by Jill. So it's going to be a hard thing to pull off with her, because of the delegates. People are always forgetting that there's delegates, and you can't just take them away. But can they buy Jill off? Can they do that? I don't know. She's a pretty evil lady.
All they have to do is talk to Hunter. They'll buy him all. He'll sell him out for some crack.
You betcha.
8 balls, you got it.
Mm-hmm.
Some prostitutes. They'll be like, yeah, we're done. We're done. Our business is done here.
That's right. Oh, absolutely. Hunter would sell his father off for some crack. And like Joe, we just said it, like Joe Lynette right now saying, you would think even Obama and Biden would be happy with the Supreme Court ruling, as it would protect them too, including Obama. There was a lot of things that Obama did. So this is a good ruling, and they know it. They absolutely know it.
Of course they do. They all know it. And it makes us wonder who's going to be doing what. Harris is already packing her bags.
Yeah.
The worst vice president in the history of this country, with the worst president in the history of this country,
They're awful.
with the worst administration in the history of this country. And guess what? It's all backed by polling as well.
Yeah.
Liberal polling, down the middle polling, right polling. It all says the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You suck. You're fired. We don't want you. By far the worst administration. And it's all been done on purpose. It has not been done by accident.
That's
because
right.
you can't fail that much.
No.
Remember the Scantron test? Obviously, you just put C in all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You would have to try. You would have to try to do worse than what they have done.
Yeah.
That it's on purpose.
It is.
On freaking purpose.
It is on purpose. It absolutely is, because
Freaking
if Joe
Kamala.
Biden came in, Donald Trump has said this, if you come into this presidency and just did nothing, did absolutely nothing. It wouldn't be as good as Donald Trump ran it, but you wouldn't have destroyed the country if you just for 4 years, and he could have gotten elected again. But on purpose, the people behind the scenes are quickly in these 4 years trying to do the damage they've been secretly trying to do for decades. So instead, they're like, oh shit, you know what? We stole the election. We're going to have to expedite this, ruin the country, open the border, get, you know, military guys in dresses, you know, have Booty Juice be the guy that's in charge of transportation. I mean, look at the cabinet of who they chose. You're right, Vic. This is all done on purpose to quickly ruin the country as fast as they can. So it's hard to undo by the next president that's Republican.
Yep. Kamala laughing all the way to the
Yeah,
bank. Maybe she gets
is.
paid off.
I'm sure she is. She's going to be laughing all the way to the bank. So Joe, I mean, pro Joe and Vic, would you do this? I mean, think about money talks. Actually, I know the answer, but a lot of people would do this. If somebody said, okay, you can be the vice president and do nothing but cackle and laugh, but I'm going to give you millions of dollars to go away in 4 years. Would you do it?
Yeah.
Most people would.
Hell yeah.
Would you do it? If somebody said, I'm going to give you millions upon millions to just laugh, you're not really doing anything. You're not ruining the country. You just sit there and you laugh and laugh and laugh. I would find that probably most people would go, okay, I'll do it. And you're watching the country being ruined. But if you're a liberal, you don't care. If you're a conservative, you might have a harder time choking down that phlegm, but most people would do it.
No, of course they would.
Mm-hmm.
See, we're trying to get out ahead of this now because we know Biden's not running for president. He's not running for president. He's not running for president. There's no way in hell. No freaking way in hell. It's not happening. Okay, so now that we know that, who is it? And that kind of gets us. That was an interesting one. Michelle Obama and Gretchen Whitmer. That's the first time I've heard that.
Yeah, I've not heard that before either, but I could see it. I could actually
I can't remember
that.
what Gretchen Whitmer's ties are to big money, but she has ties to some big, what I was told, dirty money, kind of like a J.D. Pritzker, but this is more sinister money.
That's right.
Or family money. And if any of our Michigan peeps are watching, listening, and part of the show, let us know where that goes, because I just remember hearing that, went, oh, that makes sense why Gretchen Whitmer is one of America's most progressive freaking governors. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, we don't want her. You keep her in Michigan,
That's right.
Robert.
We don't want her.
I like Michigan, but damn, we don't want her anywhere else here. It's got to be somebody Obama can control, of course. She has ties to lying during the pandemic. Yeah, we knew that. Her husband lied. Big money, big pharma, and COVID money.
Yeah, very involved.
Yeah. So anyway, that's where we are. Also, Tucker Carlson weighed in on this. The possibility of Joe Biden sticking around. So, Joe, I sent you this quote in a full screen. Look at Tucker Carlson. This just came out late last night. Interesting to get Tucker's take. Here he is. For those listening on the chat line, and for those reading, you can read it. Biden is done. Bet on it. Too many prominent Democrats have suggested he's brain damaged. They can't walk that back. They have to remove him, and they will. The only question is when. I was trying to do my Tucker. If they're smart, they'll do it immediately. Do you hear Tucker at all?
I do a little,
I'm trying to do the
bit.
cadence, get his cadence.
Yeah.
I'll stop that now. If Kamala is going to be the nominee, she might as well be the president first. That leaves the question of Trump and his sentencing on July 11th. Biden's collapse makes this a much more perilous moment than it was. And at this point, Trump is not just the Republican candidate, but effectively the presumptive president. That's true.
That is true.
If you're going to put him in jail, it had better be for a very serious crime that everyone agrees he committed. Otherwise, you risk destroying the system completely and forever. We're in legitimate danger. Democrats need to pull back.
I agree with everything he said. We are in
Carlson.
legitimate peril. We're in danger here. Our country, I've heard not only Tucker, but a lot of other very strong conservatives or even independents saying that we are in so much trouble. We are on the edge of World War III, and I believe we're already in it. And there's so many things that we're a sitting duck about. And we have our president that he's the buffoon. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. And he's just an old doddering fool. And then you've got Donald Trump. They're trying really hard to destroy and put him in jail. They're making our country look like a laughing stock clown show all over the world. People that are afraid of Donald Trump in other countries, they're still afraid of him. But people that are not political and don't know what's going on, both Donald Trump, because the Democrats have done this, looks like a clown show along with Joe Biden. We, like Todd's saying, we have no president right now. We have a zero leadership right now.
Were you going to jump in on that? Oh, no, I thought I heard your voice come in. No, we don't. We have zero leadership. Everybody knows it. We know it. You know it. It's what we're dealing with right now. It's scary. It's sad. But it is a reality. And we've talked about this Black Swan event, other nations getting involved, coming in, stealing whatever they can. We've got about 4 months left, just over 4 months, or about 4 months to deal with everything that is Joe Biden right now. And then you hear Tucker Carlson break it down.
Yeah.
We break it down. All kinds of people breaking it down. But the Democratic Party is lying, saying that he is good. You're going to hear KJP say that today because they don't want everybody freaking out, getting nervous before they're ready. Mm-hmm. But I still think there's no way in hell they allowed Joe Biden to go out and do what he did unless they knew it was going to be that bad.
Correct. Yeah, they had to know. I mean,
and I do not feel I'm a conspiracy theorist for saying that.
No, I think you're one of almost everyone, if they're being honest, knows that. They all know it. The only one defending him is because they have to, they're getting paid to, they're doubling down on their pride. Other than that, there's no one that didn't see that with their eyes. It was so out there. It wasn't doctored. Whether you're Republican, conservative, no matter what platform, you could see it everywhere. It was simulcasted everywhere.
Even Rachel Madcow, as you call her, from MSNBC, came out last night and said if the Democrats are going to replace Joe Biden, they're even talking about replacing him.
Yeah.
This is the effing president of the United States. We're in perilous times.
We are.
And we're worried about his health. We're worried about his ability to make decisions. Obama, Jake Sullivan, happy as hell because everybody's talking about Biden. Can you do it? And all these other things are going on right now underneath our noses that we don't know about, that we soon will find out about. Who knows what kind of deals are being made right now? Joe Biden has no idea. Yeah. This is a scary, this is why we talk about being scared. And then even Rachel Maddow last night is saying, we need to do it now. Mm-hmm. If we're going to do it, we need to do it now. I mean, the disrespect to Joe Biden, not that he's earned it. I mean, he's earned every bad thing that he gets and then some. And he's going to meet his maker, and that will be the ultimate nail in his coffin, no pun intended. And why can I say that? Because I've seen what he's done and I've heard what he has done. And we know how he has treated people and we see it. He's not producing good fruit.
Yeah. I'm with Glenn, though. I hope they don't replace him. They're going to, but I wish they wouldn't, because I don't want to say it's too big to rig, because people are saying, okay, you said that last time in 2020 and it was rigged. But I think this time, using different language, it's going to be harder to have election interference this time. I think that, like, look at New Hampshire, the percentage, Donald Trump is winning in New Hampshire by 2 percentage points. So that's huge. I think it's different.
He's up to 4 or 5 in Michigan.
Yes. Yes.
Has a shot at Minnesota. He's going to win Nevada, which is insane.
That's right.
It's going to happen. And even Rachel Maddow's like, listen, you got to do this now. I mean, they don't even know who they want as their candidate.
They don't.
And it's like, because they have to have time to run a campaign.
Yeah.
Then on top of all of that, she's even bypassing Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
How disrespectful is that on top of everything else?
I think that's what they're counting on. They're counting on there to not be enough time to run a campaign, that people are just going to have to vote for these people.
Well, that used to be my
It's the only way to save America is if you vote for these people.
Yeah. And there will be those, like right now, if Joe Biden runs, Donald Trump has to win, because there's going to be a lot of Democrats that absolutely cannot pull the trigger for Donald Trump. So they just won't vote. But a non-vote that would have been Biden is a vote for Trump. So that we're at a win-win at this point. So I agree. They're going to, at the nth hour, try to pull somebody out so people don't have time to think about who it is. But I hope they don't. I hope they just run Joe Biden anyway. But how can they?
Oh, my God.
How can they?
We're told from the chat line that Biden has an event today in Virginia. Odds on how long he talks.
Same as how he talked at the White House last night, less than 5 minutes. He can't talk anymore. So if you're somebody that is still beholden to Biden and you watched that last night, other than the fact that he walked off, other than the fact he said, the pause thing again, or end of the clip, he didn't do a bad job only because they set the bar so low. So if they keep him talking under 5 minutes, he can pull that off because he's just reading a teleprompter. That's all he's doing.
I don't know, maybe. And then, of course, Les says the people, there are too many left sheep brainwashed, won't ever figure it out, or either they love being lied to by their party, or as I say, the third factor is pride.
Yeah.
Because it's so difficult for people to say they're wrong and then go, okay.
That's right.
I'm going to move on.
Pride is definitely a factor in that party.
Yep, for sure. And they don't care. I mean, there's many people that they just don't care that the man can't stumble, or that he does stumble and he just fumbles. They don't care. Yeah. And Kimberly's saying that she agrees with me that she hopes that Joe Biden just runs, because if they run Michelle Obama, we do have an issue here, because she is the darling. Could you see these people now that are making fun of and throwing Joe Biden under the bus? They will come out for how great Michelle Obama is, and she's wonderful. And that will take the non-voters to vote. They will vote for Michelle Biden. Did you hear what I just said?
Yeah, Michelle Biden or
yeah.
Michelle Biden.
Yeah, did you hear that? I think that was an accident.
Michelle
but I think
Biden.
That was right. Yeah, I think I was correct in saying that.
Troy says
correctly.
she's a he. I'm sure Jill will tell him he's a good boy at his Virginia event today. Thank you,
That's
Caleb.
right.
You're a good boy. Good boy. I mean, how bad is,
Yeah.
just think about that. But he deserves everything he gets for a lifetime of what he did.
Yeah. He does. I mean, this is karma we're watching right in front of our face.
Karma will get you.
Karma will get
He
you.
lied and lied and lied his entire life, and now it's coming back. People who lie, it'll come back. It will come back. Dave says Biden will be kept on the ticket due to delegates. He is controllable. He is only a figurehead. He isn't in power, and it worked last time. You're a voice of reason, Dave. The fix is in, and it will create a constitutional crisis beyond what we could ever imagine. I see where you're going with that.
Yeah. I mean, we keep forgetting the delegates. David is right about that, because you can't just take the delegates. You guys have heard me say.
But if he backs down, he will.
If he backs down. But the problem is Jill, you guys. Is Jill really going to back down? Is Jill going to give those delegates up? I don't know.
Yes, they will.
You really think so?
I do.
Well, then we'd have a really big problem.
Yeah, I think he's going to give it up.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it could go either way, because they will cheat. I mean, they will do whatever it takes. But if they do pull Biden, and Biden didn't want it, and nobody deals with those delegates, then we have literally lost, as they say, our democracy, our constitutional republic. That we've lost it if that happens.
Biden can only come off the ticket by resignation or death. Yeah, of course.
That's right. That's right. And you have to remember, they have to give the delegates. That's why people, when you see people, and we don't have a primary, and even in local areas that you have delegates, people fight really hard for those delegates for a time like this.
Oh, this is canceltheshow.com. We appreciate our advertisers, our sponsors that we have on the show. We're here Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central, all the time on our website, canceltheshow.com. Vic Faust, Lizzie Sparks, Pro Joe in the house. One of those advertisers that we appreciate is Complete Auto Body Repair. Use them. They're awesome. I mean, flat out, they're great. We've used them. You're not going to be done wrong. They're not going to nickel dime you. They're going to take care of your vehicle. They're going to tell you exactly what's wrong with it. The phone number is 314-731-7999, 314-731-7999. CompleteAB.com is the website. When you use them, tell them you're using them because you heard about them on Cancel This. That means they continue to support our show, which helps us in all of our endeavors and what we do here. We are grateful for their support. We use them. We're happy customers. And of course, we would recommend it every single time. Also, when it comes to any situation, when it comes to an accident or personal injury, there's nobody better than to use than David Gregory. ConservativeInjuryLawyer.com. Once again, ConservativeInjuryLawyer.com. He brands himself that way because he's not ashamed. In a world where there's lots of left-leaning, progressive, Democratic attorneys, Dave's like, I'll be that shining light for you and for your family or your loved ones when it comes to any of the situations that you're dealing with. whether it's workers' comp situation, whether it's a story that we're going to be talking about later. You were fired because you didn't take the jab. You didn't get cupcaked. We've got a big story where somebody won a major victory because of this. They got fired. And it was somebody who worked for an insurance agency. You won't miss this story. David, 7 for 7 when it comes to representing people and getting their jobs offered back to him. 7 for 7. He's licensed in 7 states. And we're not telling you have to go to him. Just give him a call before you go to somewhere else. And when you do, if you mention cancel this, he's going to take less of a percentage of what they normally do and give it to you so you make more money to promote cancel this. 314-619-4230. It's 314-619-4230. You can find him at conservativeinjurylawyer.com. He was a former state rep. Now he's running for state senate. He's leading in that balloting as well. He knows what he's doing, and especially because he was an accountant, he helps write some of those laws in the state of Missouri. Also, WeQuipUSA.com. WeQuipUSA.com. You want to rent items or put items up so that other people can rent, make some money, and have it all backed by insurance and do it with people in your neighborhood? You go to WeQuipUSA.com. They have a perfect website. It literally sets you up with other people. It's so cool. Great idea. And so far, it's working pretty well. They'll also promote rooms. I mean, they have all kinds of items. There's nothing that they won't consider or try to get done at WeQuipUSA.com. And of course, one of our favorite places, Winty's in the Chesterfield Valley in Defiance. By the way, the Defiance location on Sunday was so busy at certain times because they're doing, I mean, I'm telling you, people are going out there.
Mm-hmm.
My son who works there, he said, Dad, we stopped taking orders for just a couple minutes.
Wow.
Because we wanted to catch up and we wanted
Yeah.
to make sure that our service was perfect and the food was as good as it could be.
That's
And he
great.
said people were still patient because people are checking it out. It's just they support us. They support this community. They support everybody. But at the same point in time, they really do a great job with us here at canceltheshow.com. They also have their Chesterfield location as well because they do it well with great food, great people, great atmosphere, great service, and of course, entertainment on the weekends at both places. We are grateful for their support here as well. Also, we love everybody that supports Winty's, and tell them you appreciate them supporting cancelthisshow.com. Once again, Vic Faust, Lizzie Sparks, Projo in the house as well. We bring guests to you as we can during the week. On Fridays, Eric Johnson and Kelly Mano from the Kelly Mano Show join us as well. Okay, Jay says prosecutors make their sentencing recommendations today, I guess, when it comes to the Trump trial. But guess what? I already saw that they didn't do that. So maybe, I don't know, maybe that it hasn't happened or won't happen today. We'll see where all that goes as well. We needed to get into this because it was the big story yesterday. And it had to do with what happened with the Supreme Court. You guys have been reading and listening to comments all over the place. At this point in time, just by listening to Democrats, you would think that this was a huge victory for President Trump. It was a huge victory for all presidents, even though we still don't know what official acts are as opposed to non-official acts. When it comes to the 2020 trying to turn over case with Donald Trump, one thing's for sure. If Jack Smith is allowed to still bring this case, this is not going to happen before the election.
That's right. That's good news too.
Huge news for Donald Trump.
That's great.
The second part of that is any president, it would help, which could be scary for Joe Biden right now. He also, by the way, could oversee any sort of a black swan event. I'm just going to tell you this. Don't think that I'm nuts for saying this. He could declare that there's a climate change warning situation and automatically get about 100 executive order protection, just like he had under COVID. I'm not kidding you. These are the types of things that can go on and then be protected later. So yes, this seems like it could be great for Donald Trump, but it could also be great for Joe Biden sitting where he is right now. Just remember that. Democrats everywhere are freaking out.
Yes. They're very short-sighted.
Ketanji Brown Jackson, Sotomayor losing their freaking mind
Yes.
as judges, showing that they really don't have the decorum it takes to be a sitting United States Supreme Court justice, because their emotions are all over the place. Now, Donald Trump came out and he's happy as hell, or at least that's the image. Alina Habba yesterday spoke about how wonderful she thought this was. Here's Donald Trump's take that he put out on True Social. His statement, quote, "A really bad day for deranged Jack Smith. The wacko prosecutor." I love it when he writes.
Me too.
The wacko prosecutor used for crooked Joe Biden's attack on his political opponent, that of course being Trump, today is in the past, as the Supreme Court gave the deranged one a high-level spanking in all caps, exclamation point. His real bosses, Andrew Weissman and Lisa Monaco, not to mention Merrick Garland, whose once great reputation has been shattered by these thugs, and his constant defense of crooked Joe, must be furious at him. Garland ought to call an end to this never-ending hoax and let people focus on bringing back greatness to America, exclamation point.
Love it. That is great. I like how he writes, and I'm sure if a left person saw this, they would be like, did you see he used the word wacko? And did you see that wasn't presidential? That's what they would say. But the content of what he said is right on. It's right on. It's totally accurate. But the left are losing their mind. And I will say it again. They're so short-sighted because they're pissed off because now they think they can't get Donald Trump. They made one.
Oh, they do.
Adam
Schiff lost his mind yesterday.
Lost his mind. And they don't care that this protects Obama, Biden, whoever else did bad things while they were a president and will in the future. They want Donald Trump so bad that everything that they threw at him, even the kitchen sink, now they're like, dang it.
Yeah, we in trouble right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got issues here.
Mm-hmm.
What's happening?
Yeah. Everything that they've done has backfired. They've done so many horrible things to Donald Trump and to his family and all of his loved ones. But every time they do it, they don't think about the consequences of their actions. They want to get him so bad that every time Donald Trump hasn't broken the law. So every time if the law gets upheld, he wins. And then he gets more donors. 2016, he used his own money. Here we are in 2024. Donald Trump is getting millions and millions of dollars to now run the campaign and pay for his legal bills. Other than sitting in the courthouse in the ice box, he's coming out smelling like a rose again.
Isn't it wonderful?
It is. It makes me so happy.
Because we want justice. We want truth. Once again, I talk about it all the time. You've got to have truth. You can't have anything else but truth. Somebody can look you in your face and lie to you and tell you everything is great. But if you know they're lying, it's really bad.
And here's a big thing. A lot of us have talked about J6 to a nauseum, and people are tired of hearing about it. But there's still people in prison for simply walking into the Capitol.
Yeah.
I think that helps that because now they're going to say what Donald Trump did while he was the president can't be upheld. So I think if this is pushed enough and people have enough attorneys, the J6ers are going to start getting out. And like Gary's saying, they fact-checked Donald Trump after the debate and there wasn't any lies. And we said that yesterday.
Yeah, Joe Biden came out the day after and said he didn't say one thing that was truthful. Mm-hmm. Joe Biden said that.
Yeah.
He didn't say one thing that was truthful. Now, when it comes to this decision by the court yesterday, this is true, Jay. The lower court now has to determine if the official act or not. Was it an official act or not by Donald Trump?
Mm-hmm.
And then Trump will get to appeal if he doesn't agree. It takes a long time.
Yeah.
And that's why we say there will be, even Bill Barr came out and said that he basically said it's over.
Yeah, it's over.
And I was like, damn.
And he doesn't like Donald Trump. So that was great that he came out and said that.
So all of that happening, it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
And then now, what are Democrats doing? They say you got to pack the court.
Pack the court.
Pack the court, pack the court. They are back on that shtick now because they're saying that these 6 are hardcore. They forget about what the Supreme Court has done in many cases. You're talking about Republicans siding with Democrats, but they won't tell you that and they won't show you or bring that up in national media.
Yeah.
There are 3 Republicans who are signing with Democrats on some issues that blow my freaking mind.
Mm-hmm.
We got to pack the court. They're also scared to death about the court because of, guess what? Donald Trump has placed 3. He would have a chance to place 2 more, over half the court. They are scared shitless about this, and they're talking about it publicly now.
Yeah. And you know what? I don't agree with the Democrats on this. These justices that they brought in have not proven to be siding with the right side of things. So there's a lot of conservatives that are very disappointed, maybe not with Gorsuch so much, but with Kavanaugh and Amy Coney Barrett. People are very upset with them that are on the conservative side. Somebody that's right down the middle would be like, okay, they're just upholding the law. So for any Democrat to come out and say that these people, the court was packed with all these ultra conservatives, it hasn't turned out to be that way.
No, it hasn't yet.
No.
And it's frustrating to me, I can tell you that much, because
It is me too.
they're being talked about in a way that is not true.
It is not true at all. And so because I am a conservative, I would want these people to be more conservative, and they're just not. I mean, a lot of people are very disappointed with Barrett. So, and Gary saying that, the Supreme Court mainly has been holding more liberal views than conservative views. So there is no right leaning on this court at all. I haven't seen it.
And if Donald Trump were president, has a chance to replace at least two more, maybe Alito, Clarence Thomas,
Mm-hmm.
and those are younger ones,
Yeah.
that's exactly what they're afraid of.
That's right. They are afraid
All I
of it.
know is the next 4 months leading into this election, and then it starts over again. That's why what we do every day is so damn important. We feel that way.
It is. It's coming up. The primary is in like 36 days. I mean, it's like, so you got the primary. And so it's just heating up everywhere on the local level. And then after that, it's going to be crazy. People really buckle up. I mean, until August and then until November, it's going to be crazy. We're going to be seeing things we have never seen before. Just when you think you've seen it all, the theater that is being played right in front of our eyes is astounding to me.
Yeah, there is a ton of theater being played.
Yes.
And we're being played.
We're totally being played. And all.
So we got to, even when we recognize it, we're being played.
Mm-hmm.
And we see the effort that's trying to be played on us. And that frustrates the hell out of us.
Yes, it does.
But just remember, Biden came out last night and said that Trump is unfit for office after this announcement came out. He ripped the decision. He ripped the Supreme Court. And then all of his minions come immediately out and say, we need to pack the court. We need to add to the court because you're seeing this is unfair. It's wrong. You notice this again. If you don't agree with them, they hate you.
That's right.
They say that you're not smart. You're evil, and these are problems. There needs to be something in place that they have to let their president be president, not worry about impeachment every 5 days. I can see that point. I do. But they do this, as Glenn says. They move the goalpost, pack the court, get rid of electoral college, add DC as a state, etc. Let kids who are 16 years old vote. Yeah, these are all things that we have heard. And of course, they love the Supreme Court, the Democrats, that is, when the decisions go their way. Has anybody heard of Agenda 25? I have.
Yes, I have.
I have never heard of it, but my son told me about it. Not in detail, but it sounds like fear-mongering. What do you mean by that specifically, Abe? Because some of the things that I have seen from Project 25 sound like they would be conservative.
What's he saying about that?
No,
yeah,
he hasn't yet.
Okay. Well, at Project 25, a lot of people really, really believe in that. And it's project, most people, they're calling it Project 25, but it's really Project 2025. And what they think that this is it empowers vulnerable children with the hope of the gospel. When you talk, that's what the real Project 2025 is. It's a Christian organization, and it's kind of shielded by protecting children. It goes along with sex trafficking. So, I mean,
I'm trying to figure out, because my daughter came home telling me, and she's still learning from college, hey, I like back Project 2025. And I'm like, that's great.
Right. That's great if you're a conservative.
But she wasn't trying to be a conservative. So I was like, oh, this is good. She backs 2025. Does she realize what she is reading? But she agreed with the concepts.
Well, that's interesting. So maybe she's coming around.
Yeah, on some of it. Abe says, I was only told about Trump banning all abortions and banning trans people. And that is not true.
Yeah, that's so. I mean, some of what is being said. Okay, you have to understand that Project 2025, if that's what we're or 25. It's literally a Christian bent on things, which I agree with all of that. But it's some of it has gone a little radical by saying what you just said.
But some of it, but it's not promoted as being a Trump deal, though.
No, it
It's
isn't.
not
It isn't.
promoted as backing Donald Trump.
Right. Yeah. It is Project 20. If it's the one you're talking about, Lori, you're asking me, is it conservative? It's conservative, or you're supposed to think it's conservative. And I'm not sure because it could be liberal in the nature that they're making Donald Trump in some cases look bad. They're making him look like that he's going to have a federal ban on abortion, and he's not going to do that. Christians want like pro-life Christians would love to see a federal ban, but that's not smart if you want to win an election. And so Project 2025 does talk about Trump wanting to have a federal ban and not liking transgenders and all that, but that's not true. That's not what Donald Trump said. Conservatives in this group of people want Donald Trump to be somebody that he is not. He is not the most conservative person on this planet. He loves America first, but he's not even as conservative by nature. He's actually a constitutionalist. And so Project 2025 makes him look like somebody he's not. So
I
let's
agree.
just
Joe,
make
have
that
you heard
clear.
anything about Project 2025 yet?
Yeah.
I always thought that it had to do with like the World Economic Forum.
Well, that might be Agenda 25.
Right, right.
So those are two different things we're talking about.
Okay,
Yeah. So
I've heard of it, but I was under the impression that they were both the same thing.
I thought they were different. So I thought that Project 2025 was more the Christian aspect. So maybe people are confusing them. But even either cases, I agree with what Abe and Jay are saying, that a lot of this is taken out of context too, to fearmonger. All of this is fearmongering tactics, because you still have some never Trumpers that are very, very far right conservatives that never got over the fact Ted Cruz lost, still to this day. I mean, we're this many years past and they can't vote. They will be like, well, I'm going to have to vote my conscience, so I can't vote for Donald Trump because he's not conservative enough. There's still that faction of people out there. And that's your Project 2020 or 25.
That's who they are?
That's who they are. And
okay. Okay, I'm learning.
Agenda 25 and Project 25 are two different things. People get them confused though. So, yeah. And people have to remember what Donna is saying is Trump was a Democrat at one point. And I love it when a Democrat becomes a conservative, because they can still see some points that the blue dog Democrats had that are good. We get into the point that we lose our elections, and we lose them even locally when you try to go Project 25 on people, because the average mainstream conservative doesn't want a federal ban on abortion. They don't want these things. They want, I want lower taxes. I want less government, but I don't care whether you kill your kid or not. And I'm not saying I agree with that, but that's why the very far right lose their elections. You have to be a little bit left of that. And I'm not saying being a liberal, but you just got to be careful, because I'm just telling you that's what we've seen.
Yeah. And of course, remember, Donald Trump used to be pro-choice.
He was
pro-choice. Our country is allowing criminals and terrorists by the thousands every day.
That's right.
Yet we're talking about abortion because that's how you can change the narrative.
That's exactly right.
And we're just gonna casually move past that. I'm reading that the Heritage Foundation is a contributor.
They are.
Yeah,
they are.
They're the main. They're the
They're the
source.
main, and they are a great organization. So I don't want you to think that I'm bashing them, but there are some people in that are still never Trumpers, and that's what you have to understand. They're Ted Cruz people, and Ted Cruz has gotten over that.
Yeah,
but there's still
big
those
supporter
people,
of Donald Trump right now.
Big supporter. That's what that is, and so they're not always behind Donald Trump.
By the way, speaking of Trump, Stormy Daniels, the porn star liar who embarrassed herself on stand, all a part of the clown circus show, who we showed you the letter that she said she never had sex with Donald Trump. She never accepted any hush money. She said, I've said this 5 times. We showed you the letter, her statement from her attorney that Judge Merchan would not allow in court. Remember that, because the judge was judge, jury, executioner, and he'll meet his maker someday. So don't worry about him. And time on this earth goes by fast. Well, Stormy Daniels is doing her first interview tonight.
Oh my.
And guess who she's doing
my.
her first public interview with?
Who?
Rachel Maddow.
Of course. Of course she's reading with the mad cow. I mean, of course.
MSNBC is who she's doing her interview with tonight.
Of course she is. Is anybody going to watch it? I don't think.
Well,
Rachel
Maddow told her viewers last night, we want you to watch, but you should not watch with your kids.
Okay, so they're going to get
they're going to
graphic.
Yeah, they're going to lie and continue this whole thing to try to go after Donald Trump. She's making money to go on to MSNBC.
Yes,
they're paying her to go there.
Of course she is.
To try to sell information, to sell books. That's how dirty and just crappy all of that stuff is.
She'll meet her maker someday too.
Yes, she will meet her maker. And Rachel Mad Cow, she can't be like Jake Tapper or those people on CNN that are now trying to, for whatever reason, I'm not saying they have integrity, but they're trying to say, okay, we can't hide this anymore. Rachel Mad Cow is still hiding the truth. She's somebody that I really think needs a good psychologist. I really do. And I'm not saying that to be mean. I really think she needs help because she is so unhinged. She lies all the time. I truly don't believe she sees the truth. I really, really don't think she sees the truth at all. At all. And, there's a lot of people that don't, we talk about a lot of people watch Fox. And I sent a clip to Joe and I thought we needed to see it because you mentioned Bill Barr. And Bill Barr is somebody that Steve Bannon yesterday, for really trying to fight freedom, he had to go to jail yesterday. And so I can't stand these two men right here on Fox. I cannot stand Neil Cavuto. He is a never Trumper. I cannot stand him. He is an awful human being. And he is the Rachel Mad Cow of Fox News. Neil, no, you can't believe a word he says. The two of these men who hate Donald Trump, so therefore they hate Steve Bannon, they are literally laughing that Steve Bannon went to jail, and then attorney Jeff Clark weighs on the disgusting display.
Today, right in the middle of the election.
If I can go back to this, and I appreciate your patience, but some things I just wanted to know and pick your brain on. And one was the issue of, Donald Trump is 78, just turned 78. He would be 82 leaving office. Some have cynically said, he will have full bore power. You dismissed that early on to go after his enemies. And again, he has stressed himself his best revenge will be success, take him at his word. But there are others who look at that and his age when he would be leaving office, and that he wouldn't have to worry about punishment. It would be an afterthought to him. So he might be emboldened to do that, no matter what you say. What do you say?
Well, I would say, the president acts through people, and maybe he wouldn't worry about it, although I think he would.
I think this
is the people that are around him and are being asked to do things, certainly I think they're going to make sure that they're, behaving.
No, that's right. This is part of the, it was a long interview.
This is what, I think the clip is the second one down, Joe.
I understand people's.
Bill, I watched the interview. I watched this whole thing with.
Yeah, there's two clips.
But let's set up the situation with Bannon first.
Yes.
Because this laugh is about Bannon, isn't it?
Yes, there's a different clip on there. Yeah, because Steve Bannon, yesterday, former Trump advisor Steve Bannon surrendered yesterday to law enforcement to begin his 4-month prison sentence for contempt of Congress. And he entered the Federal Correctional Institute in Danbury, Connecticut, shortly after noon yesterday. And so I understand why he went to jail. It wasn't for what he did. And people forget that. It's because he didn't answer the subpoenas.
Yeah. And you're going to hear from him in just a second, too.
Yeah. And so, we're going to hear from him.
Right in the middle of.
And so these two people, this should be the clip here, is these two think it's funny. I mean, these are supposed to be conservatives laughing at another conservative that it was just trying to do the right thing. This just shows, if you ever didn't think these two are disgusting and never Trumpers, this shows that they are.
Of the election.
If I can go back to this, and I appreciate your patience, but some things I just wanted to know and pick your brain on. And one was the issue of, Donald Trump is 78, just turned 78. He would be 82 leaving office. Some have cynically said.
Yeah, that's what you sent me.
Okay, there's supposed to be another one down there, but that's okay.
There's no other one on the page.
But my point is, these two when he went, there is a clip of the two of them laughing and laughing when he goes to jail. That's what the conservative party has to deal with people like that. And I shouldn't even say they're conservatives. I don't know what they are. They don't even act like Republicans.
Yeah, but the
either.
Republican Party is morphing more towards Donald Trump. There will be these people that aren't going to go anywhere, but it's still that way. Steve Bannon, whether you like him or don't like him, or back what he did, he stood outside the prison jail yesterday and spoke about why he did what he did, and he doesn't mind going to jail for 4 months. And it is interesting when you hear Steve Bannon speak about why he did what he did and what's going on. So here's Steve Bannon talking about what the Justice Department is doing, how they came after him. And it was all because of J6.
Yeah, all of it. It's all J6.
Or everything that happened there. So here's Steve Bannon.
I am proud to go to prison. If this is what it takes to stand up to tyranny, if this is what it takes to stand up to the Garland, corrupt, criminal DOJ, if this is what it takes to stand up to Nancy Pelosi, if this is what it takes to stand up to Joe Biden, I'm proud to do it.
Bravo, bravo.
Father, can you say a few words?
I'm not authorized to talk to the media.
You're not?
No.
Well, thank you for coming.
I agree with your positions, and I'll be praying for you. I'm in the St. Ignatius Retreat House, 15 minutes away.
You are?
Yeah, I'll get you whatever you need.
Father, don't pray for me. Pray for our enemies.
Yeah.
Right? Pray.
They need
They're the ones who are going to need the prayers. Thank you, Father.
Saint Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our protection against the wickedness and the snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. And do thou, Prince of the heavenly host, by the power of God, cast into hell Satan and all evil spirits who wander through the world seeking the ruin of souls. Amen. Ave Maria Purissima. God bless you.
Now that's a true patriot right there. Nobody really wants to lose their freedom for 4 months. They don't. But he did his last show yesterday morning, and then now he's going to do 4 months in jail. And I hope he's in a minimal security, but you never know because look at the J6ers.
I thought he is.
Yeah,
I thought
that's what I heard. He was in like, what do they call it? Minimal, like a low security prison. But look at the J6s. See, I don't ever trust the government with that. Look at the J6ers that are being treated like zoo animals, and they did even less than Bannon did. But God bless, like Annette's saying, God bless Steve Bannon. These are true patriots. We do not have enough people doing that. We don't have enough people that are standing up for what is right because people are afraid, because they know that the uniparty Democrats are coming after any loud conservative. I mean, people say that to me. Do you understand what you're doing when you speak out that much? I said, if you don't, you lose. Too many people have been told to go to their safe space and hide in their hidey hole and be quiet and be censored. And we've got to stop doing that. We've got to be Steve Bannons. You've got to teach your children to be Steve Bannons. You've got to, teach your children to fight for this country, become attorneys, run for office, do the right thing, and fight. And that's what I'm doing with my children. We were put on this planet for such a time as this. Don't tell your kids that this is a scary time. Tell your kids you were put on this planet for such a time as this.
There's a reason.
Steve Bannon. Be a Steve Bannon.
Some people think that he was a plant put in to disrupt the election.
Who? Bill Barr.
Oh,
right?
Barr.
Bill Barr.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I told you, I interviewed him here in St. Louis and got some of the biggest heebie-jeebies I'd gotten with a political figure.
Really? So you even sat next to him and he gave you
I talked about that on this show.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah.
I'm just smarmy.
Yeah, he looks smarmy.
DC smarmy.
Yeah.
I can't remember where it was, but somebody told me there was something with his dad. Like his dad was involved in the CIA.
Makes sense.
And there were some very, I guess, questionable things that had happened. And he did not want to talk about it. He was approached on a street about it too, on video. And he's like, did not want to get into it.
Yeah, he is creepy. You can sometimes, I know you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but I've talked to some of the listeners off air about some candidates that they just said they give me the creeps. I mean, you just see some of them, they're just smarmy. Even some of them that say they love Donald Trump, like Chris Christie did back in the day, but there's some that they're just, you just know they're lying. You just know it.
There's so much to get to still today on canceltheshow.com here Monday through Friday, 8 to 10. And we go 2 hours and we're packed almost every day with things that are going on. Had to get this out there. Maybe another reason. And thank God for X. Thank God for Elon Musk. We haven't talked about him in a while, but at least Elon Musk is calling out lies when he sees it on his platform, on X, which is a platform that we absolutely love. Kamala Harris is out lying, as she does well. She put out, quote, on her Twitter, X, Donald Trump would ban abortion nationwide. President Joe Biden and I will do everything in our power to stop him and restore women's reproductive freedom. Well, guess what? Elon Musk immediately responded.
Good.
Thank you, Elon. Quote, when will politicians, or at least the intern who runs their account, learn that lying on this platform doesn't work anymore? So she got slapped back to reality. Too bad, so sad, Kamala. They're lying. They will lie and put that stuff out there over and over again. But we're grateful because those things are not going to happen. Those things are not going to be put out. And thank God you have somebody and a platform that's going to actually put out truth. And guess what? Kamala didn't respond. She didn't respond. She didn't say anything about, oh, well, we are. Nope. She didn't even call out being called out because she knew and her people knew that she was lying about everything that she had just said. Canceltheshow.com. Have to get into the story. We'll push in what we can. By the way, James Carville, hardcore Democrat. Isn't James Carville one of those guys at the little angry liberal elf that comes in the afternoon on the show, Joe? Hasn't he referenced James Carville on his show for his points?
Oh, I'm sure.
No, I know he has. I've heard him. I already knew the answer to the question. Sorry.
Okay.
James Carville also came out on CNN late last night and said Joe Biden must be pulled from this campaign. Pulled from this campaign. Once again, people, Joe Biden is not going to be on this ticket. There's no way. There's no way. There are too many people, as Tucker Carlson said today again, too many Democrats and big money donors who have been disenfranchised with them.
Big money's pulling out left.
He's going to be pulled. Okay. Speaking of big money, anytime we bring these topics up, when people or you, it may have been you, it may have been somebody you've known, a loved one, a friend, a family member. And there are people who regret being forced to take the cupcake into their arm. You know what we're talking about. And then you either did or you didn't. You either lost a job or you did it to keep your job. And whatever you did, there's no shame here, because we all went through something that we didn't want to have to go through. But this news makes me smile, and it makes me think of our conservative injury lawyer, David Gregory. David was 7 for 7 when it came to cases of getting people their jobs back, when it came to refusing to get that shot. So it's what's his website again? Injury lawyer. That's why I was giving you a chance to pop
Conservative injury lawyer. I'm sorry, I was looking something up.
Conservativeinjurylawyer.com. Check him out. So here is the story. A Tennessee woman who was fired from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee because she refused to comply with getting the cupcake in her arm received a settlement of $687,000 yesterday. The federal jury found that Tanya Benton, quote, proved by a preponderance of the evidence that her decision to refuse the cupcake was based on a sincere held religious belief. So she gets a total of over $687,000. They awarded her more than $177,000 in back pay, $10,000 in compensatory damages, and $500,000 in punitive damages.
I hope we see more and more of that.
She worked at Blue Cross Blue Shield. Let's see here. She worked there from 2005 November of 2022 as a biostatistical research scientist, and said in her lawsuit that her job did not include regular contact with anybody. However, she said that she only interacted with 10 to 12 clients each year, and sometimes those were occasional interactions, but nothing ever consistently in person. So she was fired because she refused to take this. So her lawsuit noted that she never had contact with people. And she said she also worked from home for a year and a half during the pandemic. A year and a half, and didn't have any complaints until Blue Cross Blue Shield announced employee cupcake requirements. But
That's terrible.
But she refused to get the cupcake in her arm.
Good for her.
And she firmly believes, she said, based upon her personal research, that all the cupcakes are derived from aborted fetus cell lines. She's right.
They are.
She said she cannot, in good conscience, receive the cupcake because it would not only defile her body, but also anger and dishonor her God, having a fetus be put back into her body. So they had to prove it scientifically, and it was on her side. Now, following the Blue Cross Blue Shield announcement of a cupcake requirement, she submitted a request for a religious exemption, but the company denied it.
Wow.
And told her she would not be able to keep her job unless she complied. Any of these stories sound familiar?
Yeah, they sure do.
She appealed and explained she didn't come in contact with anybody. She did everything she possibly could. It was also suggested at that point that she better start looking for another job. Blue Cross Blue Shield ultimately fired her, which led to her filing the federal lawsuit, which she just won. So then it goes on to say, quote, the cupcake requirement was the best decision for the health and safety of our employees and members. That's what they said.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate our former employees' service to our members and our communities throughout the Blue Cross Shield. That's the only thing they said after they lost the lawsuit. So she won $687,000 because she refused to get the vaccine. She sued them. She won and had science on her side.
Good for her, because maybe if more people do this and more people sue for this, then there'll be maybe not the push to abort babies, because we know for a fact Johnson & Johnson had those aborted cells in there. So, I mean, these people are evil. For money, they want you to kill your baby so they can take those cells and put them in a shot that then causes you, I'm not saying they all do, but could cause you to have blood clots and other serious damage. And from the beginning, people needed to sue. I mean, what if you get sued, that may stop. And any of you, I don't know if any of you know about, there's a big hospital chain in, St. Louis metropolitan area, BJC. If you want to work there, they still tell you you are not hireable if you don't have that. Still, that's even as of last week, somebody I know applied there and said, I'm either going to have to lie or I'm going to have to take the jab. And I was like, don't take the jab. I'm not telling you to lie. I just wouldn't work there then if they do that. And you know what? If a lot of people push back, I mean, like you've heard the stories here. Both my husband and I were threatened to be fired where we worked before, and we still didn't take it. We're like, okay, we might end up getting fired, but I'll have my health. And we ultimately weren't, because we pushed back. I mean, it sounds like though she did push back, and it didn't matter though in her case. So good for her for suing. That is really good news. And I hope to see more lawsuits like that.
But I wonder how this works out, because I do remember this, as Glenn says, Biden, or he calls him Dictator Biden, mandated that companies require the cupcake or get massive fines.
Well, and see, that's the thing. That was never a thing that could be done. He mandated it.
There's no such thing.
But there is no
not
such
legally.
thing. There isn't. So even though Biden did that, he did that, or his handlers did that, knowing there's no such thing. So the big corporations just went ahead and did that to avoid any confrontation, or in reality, to get money from these jabs. But Biden, that was false. When he mandated it, there's no such thing as a mandate for that. So people can say you have to do that, but there's no mandate. There never was, you guys. Never, ever, ever.
Fauci started that. He told corporations to threaten their employees.
Yeah, we played that video.
We have
the
played that
show,
video.
that he threatened them and called them all sorts of names if they didn't do it. And basically, they were stupid, and to threaten them. And he actually said, make their life uncomfortable. We knew that was happening.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that quote.
Yes. Make them uncomfortable. Make them uncomfortable to go to college or university or their work. And then they'll do it, because once they're uncomfortable, they'll just go take the thing in their arm. And he isn't wrong. So many people that got uncomfortable or couldn't take the heat from their employer, even though they knew maybe they wouldn't be fired. Look at Boeing. I had people call me and ask me to write them exemptions, because I am now a minister that can write exemptions during that period of time. I purposely became a minister. So I wrote a lot of exemptions, and I said, turn them all into Boeing, and then you all start to pick it and they'll back down, and I'll be damned if they didn't. And I'm sure I was not the only one saying that. You know, we were like, go picket them, all of you turn in exemptions, and you all can't be fired. They can't run their company.
Yeah, Gary said he took a religious exemption.
Yeah. A lot of people did, and they were easy enough to get. Most of the pastors would write them. If not, for the love of God, and at least in the state of Missouri, you can get an online minister certificate, and it's legal in the state of Missouri.
It was so interesting too, because at my TV station, this is how they tried. Here's what they tried to do. It was so weird. Like, the call we got was, yeah, I'm supposed to check in with you. This was the news director's assistant. Yeah. Are you good with everything? You know, like taking care of your health with everything that's going on. That literally is and I said, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
And
hell yeah, I'm taking my vitamin D, baby, my zinc.
That's right. Your hydrochloroquine.
Yeah.
Your Ivor something.
Ivor checked in.
Yes.
Yeah, we're literally, and that's what they were trying, because they knew that they weren't supposed to be doing that, or they couldn't force people. But they were also at that point in time trying, and they had seating assignments. So,
oh my gosh, yeah, I forgot about the seating assignments.
Yeah. So, and then anchors and people were all like freaking out, like they better have it. They better have it. Oh my God, if somebody doesn't have, I better not be sitting near them.
Yeah. My gosh. Yeah.
That's why Blue Cross Blue Shield lost the suit, according to Glenn. They didn't honor the exemption, the religious exemption.
That's right. That's right. Because you needed to honor the exemption. And they were easy enough to get. A lot of pastors did write them. And the ones that didn't, you could have wrote them yourself. Or you could have become a minister and write it yourself.
So we're talking about this from that standpoint. Robert just said it just broke now too. I don't know where this will go, if it will mean anything, but it's a lot of money to give. The U.S. government now has awarded $176 million to Moderna.
Oh, good old
to open new advanced development research of its bird flu.
Oh, for the love of God.
Cupcake. The company said this yesterday, as concerns are rising over a multi-state outbreak of H5N1 virus in dairy cows and infections of 3 dairy workers in the last few months.
So now let's hurt the farmers. Let's now, that
they're
agenda.
going after the cows.
That's right. They're going after the cows, and they're going after the farmers. Don't forget, our farmers are huge conservatives. They are very patriotic. So let's hurt the farmers. So then it hurts them, and then it hurts the food supply. That's what they're doing with that. That's exactly what they're doing. And you know what? We're not going to fall for it again this time. Not that hear us in the studio, we ever did fall for it, but you can have the bird flu and all that. But the same people that are still wearing a mask now are the only ones that are going to fall for that now. But look at that. The government sure got a whole lot of money, didn't they? To give it to Moderna.
$176 million for.
How does Fauci, who's involved with Moderna, he's part owner, how does he keep coming out smelling like a rose? How the hell does that happen? He is a murderer. He has hurt people. We were talking about, smarmy, creepy people. He takes the cake. He's the winner of the prize.
Oh, without a doubt. But this just comes out as, we're celebrating a victory with a woman who has, as Lizzie said, the balls to go sue
Yes.
the federal government over
Love
this.
it. Love it. Love that so much.
And
Balls.
and that's what it's about. And that's hard. That is tough. What respect for her to be able to do that.
Mhm.
And you know, she's not the only one. And other people, you know, they were told and threatened, if you don't, you're going to lose it. And you can't even go a day without losing your job and the money that you have coming in.
Right. It's really hard, especially now more than ever to lose your job. I mean, look what they've done. And I'm talking about the Democrats. Look what they've done. So many people during the pandemic lost their job and they've never quite recouped. And even if they haven't lost it again with this bad inflation, they can't afford what they could afford before. I mean, what they have tried to do to the American people is criminal. Lose their job, put a mask on your face, put a thing in your arm, make grocery prices and gas prices so expensive, jack up the interest rates to the point people can't get a house, or if they do, it makes their house payment almost to the point they can't afford it or do anything fun. I mean, and that's why our credit card debt is so bad, because people are so aggravated. So they're still wanting to do what they used to do. They're just now putting it on a 33% credit card. These people are criminals, absolute criminals.
Oh my Lord. People, we appreciate your education and educating us and entertaining us on the People's Platform, as we try to do with you as well. Interesting from Gary, the human embryonic kidney, the HEK 293, is a cell line commonly used for biopharma and basic medical research and therapeutic solutions. It was generated in 1973. They are derived from human embryonic cells. Okay.
Look
There you
at
go.
all the things that we know. If you can create a quote shot that helps you when you get the C, and you did this on warp speed or whatever you want to call it, where's the cure for cancer? I mean,
Mhm.
I don't believe any of this. I don't believe that jab was anything good for you anyway. Or if it was, you know, they've been talking about it for years in these bio labs. I mean,
Mhm.
it's terrible what they're doing to the American people.
As Judy says, but the economy is doing so great
Oh, it
right
really
now.
is. It really is.
The stories, and who knows, and I know we talk about this, is this going to be part of a black swan event? Will this be something that happens leading into 2024 election? Would it be climate change? Would it be a possible war situation in Ukraine, Russia? Would it be something else? They're all things you have to think about because we just don't know. And Lori says it's funny how they passed lab-grown meat and now we have a virus for cows and chickens. It all kind of adds up weird, doesn't it? Oh, eat your lab-grown meat. We're going to take away your meat right now. Oh, there's a problem there. Oh, yeah. Okay, we see. This is Cancel This. CancelThisShow.com. Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central, all the time on our website, CancelThisShow.com. Expect the unexpected.
Yes.
We hear Lizzie.
Yes, I agree. To expect the unexpected. And we should always be expecting the unexpected. And that's what I'm thinking between now and November when this election happens. They're going to spring on something on us that we don't expect. They are. We're talking about all these things, but I wouldn't be surprised, just as Paul is saying, that we need to expect the unexpected. And when you do that, you're not alarmed like when COVID hit. I didn't think it was funny. I didn't like it. And I do believe it's really a thing, but you can't freak out. I guess that's the expecting the unexpected. Don't freak out when they throw something else. Keep your head about you and don't react the way they want. If you're reacting the way the government wants you to, you're on the wrong side of things. Yeah, absolutely. If they're like, oh, to be better, you need to put something in your arm, then you don't put it in your arm. Because the government is not our friends, you guys. They are not our friends.
Well, I know, but so many people just over the course of life, well, yeah, of course we trust the government. Of course, they have our best interest at heart.
Right. Oh, and the CDC, they're so great. They just want you to, be healthy and do the right thing. No, they're not. They're a government agency that wants control over you. Keep that in mind. So anything the CDC says, I saw them firsthand at our preschool. I learned very quickly, very early on, that the government, local, it can even be local, local, federally, state, they're not your friend. They want you to pay money for everything you do. They want to legislate everything, and they want to put limits on what you can do and regulate you. They're not our friends.
No, they're not. And we have another situation that has come down now too, because of the wonderful situation that is Joe Biden. And we don't have a speaker with a spine. Sorry, Mike Johnson. We don't trust you. I never have. It makes no sense what you have done. We now have let me see where it is, the exact total. Okay. Joe Biden has just now approved another $2.3 billion for guess who? You want to take a stab at this, Lizzie?
Say it again. Say it again.
The United States has just approved another $2.3 billion for who? Another $2.3 billion because
for Ukraine.
For Ukraine.
Oh, dang it!
You got it. For Ukraine.
Oh, I almost forgot about Ukraine.
Another two. And guess. And where's Mike Johnson? Where's Speaker? Where's Speaker Johnson?
I don't get why he really likes money going to Ukraine.
Because he's in on the fix, and we all know that Ukraine is not winning any war.
Yeah.
Ukraine.
Yes.
Zelensky.
Yeah, his wife is going to get a new Prada purse and a zebra coat. I mean, that's where that money's going. I mean, come on. And
another $2.3 billion.
That is terrible. He is trying to spend Megan's saying he's trying to spend every dollar ever made before he goes.
And keep in mind, this is all happening while we talk. By the way, the poor people of Ukraine, they get sent to war. The upper middle class, they're living extravagantly.
Yes.
That is a fact, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Also, when it comes to that situation, there has been not one, I repeat, not one instance of success in Ukraine right now where they are doing what they want to do. It's the never-ending war. It will never end. There is no winner. And at one point in time, you even had the man directing the military of Ukraine say, this is a stalemate. There is no way to win this. Yet we continue to send our money there.
I mean, common sense tells you that, Vic, because look at the size. Just look at the size.
Which is another reason why I had such a big problem with Nikki Haley.
Me too. Me too. I mean, if you are just somebody that looks at things with truth and with your eyes, Ukraine is a fraction of the size of Russia. Just in the volume of people, they cannot win, no matter how much ammunition we give them. Say it really went to the ammunition and it really went there. We know it didn't. They still can't win. So these people looking at us, and I'm going to tell you what, if you still have a relative with a Ukraine flag on your profile, get it off, or we know who you are. You don't get life. You don't. I mean, I thought it was weird when people were putting it on there anyway, but it didn't last long.
Yeah, Glenn, you do. Congress does have to vote on it, but Johnson did not stop it.
No, he didn't. That's your point, is that Johnson didn't stop it.
It would make over $120 billion, according to Chris, of our tax dollars wasted outside of our country with zero benefit for our nation, for our sick kids, for our military, for the border, any of these issues, for natural resources, all for Ukraine and in a made-up situation with Russia.
That's just terrible. It really is. It's terrible. And I can't believe that you said that again. It's like, how many times are we going to learn that our government is giving money over to Ukraine? And we have a lot of reasons why they're doing it, But when you look at your Republicans that are not stopping it, like Mike Johnson, that's terrible. I mean, and we already knew that. That's why, as much as I like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz, and you said it first, Vic, even before I did, because I really like them. So I thought them pushing for them to get out McCarthy was a good thing. But then you were like, okay, but what's the end result here? Like, okay, they get him out. Who are we going to get? They're not going to be any better.
No, they get the guy that the Democrats and everybody knew that would support Ukraine.
That's right. That's exactly.
And he has already shown that he's supporting Ukraine. He is all about Ukraine for whatever reason. And the reasons he gives makes no sense. To keeping the world a safer place, because what's happening is not keeping the world a safer place.
Why are we not giving that money? This sounds like I am an elementary child right here. Why isn't that same money going to close our own damn
because
border?
Of the politicians who are there? And Robert adds, just think about our quote money. Our money isn't really money. It's printed money. It's fake money.
It's printed. It is fake money.
Which sucks because eventually it comes back around.
Correct.
And you have to deal with it.
Even your cash is fake money, people.
NATO. Add NATO. UN, Israel, who knows what else on top of Ukraine. All our printed money going to fund many,
Yep.
many things.
That's right. That's right.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, it is that. Hey, we just bring you the news. We do everything we can to make sure that we're all in the best situation possible, that you guys are as educated and up to date as you possibly can be. And of course, that's what we do. And we're going to do it every single day. Gary says before we get out of here today, we're going to get out just a couple of minutes early because we have a staff meeting at 10. Russia could do a run across the Ukraine. They could. I have not from the beginning thought different. Do you really think in reality Ukraine could ever pose a formidable opponent for the US?
No. Absolutely not. That is so dumb. When you look at the volume of people to the US and Russia, Ukraine can't do crap to anyone. And so the fact that they have all of our money is just infuriating. It's infuriating.
But we appreciate you guys joining us every day. KJP talks today. We'll see what at 2:30 Eastern. We'll see what happens. Joe Biden's supposed to have another campaign event today. Oh my God, look out. At least he's not sniffing people anymore.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in a while.
Bad. He hasn't been around. So anyway, we love you. This is cancelthisshow.com, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central and all the time on our website. Cancelthisshow.com. Vic Faust, Lizzie Sparks, Projo in the house. We have a donate button on our website. If you want to help the free speech cause that we do, you can check out our advertisers, our sponsors. We are grateful for that. And if you have any ideas on guest and story ideas, just let us know. All right, guys, have an awesome day. That does it for what we affectionately call the fastest 2 hours in podcasting. We'll see you again tomorrow at 8 a.m.